for the beginning part of the portfolio, we need to build a website. This website is going to hold all of your personal branding information, like your business card, your resume, your logo. It's also going to have links to projects that you've completed, as well as written reflections that you've put for each of the projects. And we'll be posting other things to this as we go along. Right now, we're just going to set up the account and set up the basic structure, but we're going to probably change some things around to customize them specifically for you and what projects you end up working on. So after you've gone to Weebly, you're going to put in your information. You want to make sure that you use an email that you're going to be able to access, because if you forget your password, you need to make sure you're able to access that email. I go ahead and choose I'm not a robot. I agree to their policies, and I'm going to click on continue. All right, so this is the key part. Or a few of the key parts. What you want to do is you do not want to set up a business website. This is going to actually end up costing money and add on a whole bunch of other stuff that we don't want. We're going to be creating a portfolio site here, so we don't plan on selling anything with this. So go ahead and try Weebly websites. Now with this part, when you're choosing your theme, we can always go back and make modifications to this later. And you can swap out images, and we'll be playing around with the menu structure later on. This website is not only going to serve as your portfolio, but it's also going to be the primary thing that you use to show off your presentation for the honors credit at the end of the quarter. So for this first part, there's a whole bunch of different layouts that are set up, and you can click on them and kind of get an idea of what they look like. Now you're going to be able to modify these. You'll be able to remove entire sections. You can add new things to it. We're going to start with something kind of stripped down. Right now I'm going to close out of that one, and you can click on other ones. So choose one that you find to be visually interesting, but keep in mind, you're going to be taking these photos out and we'll be replacing them with other photos. We'll be replacing them with your own work and things like that. So when I'm looking at these, I'm really looking at just primarily the basic structure. It's like, do I want it to be open, menus across the top? You can kind of see it's very standard where the menus are. You can go here to portfolio. With the portfolio, this is big images, which could be a nice one to have. Just depends. You can go through and look at personal ones. If you were in my photography class, you probably remember this one. That was one a lot of people chose as a starting off point. Event, probably not as much. Blog, probably not as much. Coming soon, probably not as much. And maybe the other, you might find something in here that's interesting. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and just choose this one. I'm assuming what I could possibly do is make up my own image in Photoshop and just make this like personal brand, college projects, regular project, or whatever, and make them linkable so that when you click on it, it doesn't bring up a picture, but it brings up a certain page. Or potentially that is the picture. Maybe we put the resume here and we put the magazine cover and the magazine spread. So there's a lot of different things that we can do with this afterwards, but I'm just going to go ahead and pick this one for now. I don't recommend you necessarily pick the same exact ones that I do, but we can always go back and change stuff later. So I'm going to go ahead and choose Start Editing. Now, this part right here is going to be your domain name. What that means is that is the website name that people would type in. For example, www.google.com. Now, yours is not going to have the .com part, with just your name. So what you're going to probably want to do is don't include your last name on this. I want to keep you somewhat anonymous. So you're going to have to go through a series of trying different things here. I'm going to put in like maybe my initials. I'm going to just try this and see if that works. So it's just my first initials, CGD portfolio. I'm not sure if that's what will work or not for you, but you can try it. And I'm going to go ahead and do search. So this is the part that comes up. This part here actually costs money. It says includes free with 1 year plan, but you have to pay for this one. So we're going to skip these. We're going to go straight down to this one. If what you typed in is available, it will show up saying you're available to choose this. Now, you want to make sure that you're happy with this. Like maybe that's too long. So maybe I'll want to go back, because if once you type this in and you get it set, that's the one you're stuck with. So you want to make sure that you're happy with that particular piece before we continue. So I'm going to put something in here that I know will not be available, just so you can see what that thing looks like if it's not available. I'm going to make a Google site right there. It's kind of grayed out, but it says unavailable. So it's going to automatically add on the Weebly.com at the end. So I'm going to come back up here. The capitalization, I don't believe, is going to matter. Yeah, see, that one's not available. We'll just try that MP CGD portfolio just to see. Yeah, that one's available. So I'm going to go ahead and create that. All right, so now it's letting me know that this is the proper subdomain name. So it's tucked inside of Weebly's domain. That's like who owns it. And then the other information here is what I would type in to get access to the site. So I'm going to go ahead and click on done. All right, you have your first part set. Now you'll notice there's quite a few other things that are here, but what I want to do is I'm going to change the name of this at the top. Again, I want you to avoid putting in your last name on this. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use my first name. Honors portfolio. That should be okay for now. And then the way that this stuff is set up, I will show you in a different video, just so that we can get the correct menuing and stuff set up. So yours will look slightly different than mine if you didn't choose this layout, which is totally fine. But we're going to start with this. So put in your name, last initial, honors portfolio. And what we're going to do from here is we're going to go ahead and publish this. So up here in the top corner, you're going to click publish. Now, this piece right there is your actual website. So if you want to see what this looks like live, see, this part is part of the editor. So that's not actually the live version of this. You can actually click on this link. It will open it in a new tab. And there we go. It shows you what the actual site looks like. Now, right now, there's an about, which we're going to leave. The contact will probably take off, and because we're going to add in some other menus. So in the next video, I'm going to show you how to set up the beginning menu structure that we're going to start with. And then we'll continue on with how to customize your site. Now, the goal, again, is just to get the basic setup done today and have the menu and stuff set up. We're not going to worry yet about fully populating this with your work, but we will be doing that soon and as we go on in the next couple weeks.